Hello guys, so the results of the Karnataka elections are tripling in and as expected, the Congress is actually romping home with a thumping majority. It must have come as a shocker to Mr. Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, who have been quite vociferous and optimistic about a BJP victory, but the results have actually backfired. We have with us none other than Pradipta Guha. Well, he's a political observer. He's obsessed with anything related to politics and international relations. And I remember he was the first one to predict that the Bharat Jodo Yatra will definitely come in handy for the Congress party in the upcoming elections. So over to him. So, Dava, your words have come true, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. This Bharat Jodo Yatra had a profound impact in Karnataka elections, which can be seen. Moreover, the two castes, the major castes, the Vokaligas and the Lingaites, they have also turned their face away from BJP, because for the last 5 years, people in Karnataka, and mostly during this COVID times, yes, this is an upheaval, a time of upheaval, great upheaval. In fact, COVID arrived early 2020.
That's right.
And after that, there have been lockdowns and over. Total India was in a mess. And Karnataka, since it's actually the Silicon Valley of India, we have seen a lot of jobs cut, a lot of problems in the ground.
People have moved out of the
People
state.
have moved out of the state. A lot of people who have gone from, who have migrated from eastern India, northern India to Karnataka, they left Karnataka and they went back to their own places. We have been seeing all these things. And then Bharat Jodo Yatra, which in real true sense, after, we have never seen such a huge rally from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, which
That's
itself is a world-class achievement.
And he's been drawing crowd.
Yes. I have been following the Bharat Jodo Yatra right from the start. The amount of people coming in support of this Yatra, despite transcending all barriers.
Exactly.
We have seen
Even non-celibs have trooped in.
Absolutely. Normal people, delivery boys, upcoming journalists, people who are not there in the main media, but they are there in the social media. Those people, along with Christians, Muslims, Hindus, everybody, throughout, you have farmers, and in fact, right from after the demonetization, which I think is very detrimental for the country. In fact, a lot of economists throughout the world have been saying, who have expressed their about this demonetization. Yes, resentment, very much. Because what was actually thought for black money was not actually the black money, it was the cash. It was the cash that was there in the market. And after demonetization, what happened? All this cash, they disappeared from the market, leaving dry the small scale and the middle scale industry.
Right.
Which we have seen after demonetization. A lot of small scale and middle scale industries have suffered very, very badly.
That's right.
In fact, as you can see from, these are all data that are provided by the government, is there in their website.
Right.
You will find out this total stand up and start up, what in reality, most of this, how many companies have come up in this startup and stand up? So all these things.
So how far have these factors been influential when it has come down to the Karnataka polls? So we are talking about national issues, global issues, but we've always observed this trend that state elections are fought on very core local issues.
Definitely, I will tell you about this, because the South Indian states of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, these are one of, in India, if you consider India and these states are well-performing states. These states have a population that is very well learned, well versed, they know about a lot of things. That is the reason these people, the people of the southern states, they don't want to keep a party for more than 5 years.
Right.
You might find in Kerala.
But there have been exceptions in Kerala and Tamil
Kerala
Nadu.
and Tamil Nadu.
Right.
But mostly, when they are disgruntled with anything, they take their decisions on election day, and that have been prevalent.
So the anti-incumbency factor is of
Yes.
paramount importance.
Anti-
Down south.
Anti-incumbency factor is of paramount importance down south, and moreover, this Bharat Jodo Yatra, the spirit of this yatra, the camaraderie of this yatra, proved to be of a great advantage for Congress coming up in these flying colours and the failing of BJP, despite BJP bringing in Mr. Narendra Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, Yogi Ji, and everybody, all the heavyweights, Hemanta Vishwaswarma, all the heavyweights, when
They have used all their resources.
they use their carpet bombing like anything.
Exactly so.
And they tried to, and then they again wanted to come up with this Bajrang Bali along with Bajrang.
That is also boomerang.
issue. That because these things doesn't matter down south.
How far has religion, played a role in these
But
elections?
religion doesn't play any role in south.
Okay.
First,
But they are quite religious people.
no, there are two types of people in Karnataka. The northern Karnataka belong to the Lingayats,
That's right.
who are actually Shaivites.
Right.
They worship Shiva. And the Vocaligas are basically southern part, they are warriors and peasants. These warriors, they have been right from, they were there in the army of Tipu Sultan also.
Yeah.
So these two are the factors, and Vocaligas, Karnataka has given Vocaligas CM. Dev Gowda himself is a Vocaliga.
Exactly.
Right? So Lingayat matters. Lingayat has a larger share of population, and that is the reason. But here you can as well as see the total Lingayat, the concept itself got shattered here. 50% possibly have gone to BJP, and 50% or more has come. I don't think 50% BJP has got 50%.
No.
It's
The
only
caste
after-
factor has played a very
it's only after
important role out
the
here.
total data that I'll get it, then I'll be able to tell you. But the thing is that caste here didn't matter. As well as you will find a lot of people will say, BJP just lost the election, and there goes Amit Shah's picture and Modi's picture from the.
Exactly so. So this is what I'm coming to.
There is no picture of them. It's only Basavraj Bommai.
Exactly
there.
so. Now
So,
he's being
yes.
made the scapegoat.
Now
That
he
is
is
quite
being-
unfortunate.
that
See, I'll
he
just
is
come to
being-
this because I'll just go back to that X factor of local elections being fought on local issues. Do you really think that the BJP going gaga over the charisma of Narendra Modi? He was quite aggressive. He went hammer and tongs on his opponents. He was constantly targeting the Congress party on every single issue. Do you think this national charismatic face, super dependence on Amit Shah and Narendra Modi has actually boomerang?
Absolutely, I will not say it has boomerang. It is slowly, it is prevalent.
No, but they did not talk about local issues.
Nah,
They were more on international issues.
Yes, that
they
is-
were more occupied with taking pot shots at the Congress party, which was totally uncalled
you
for.
will understand why this thing is when suppose you are the Prime Minister of the company, of the country.
Right.
Sorry. Now you are the boss and you have another department which is run by your team only. But
Exactly.
your team did not function very well. Your team did not perform very well. So what else can you do in order to bifurcate the mind of the people? Modi came up with Bajrang Bali or Bajrang Dal and all his tidbits.
He played the
It
religious
was,
card.
it was never any serious thing from him. There was no
Did
serious.
he run out of issues to talk about?
There is no issue because
Did he run out of subjects?
he will.
Did he run
because
out of plans?
He had 5 years. He had 5 years.
He did have 5
And-
years. He had around 3.5 years because, the Congress government was formed. No, the Kumaraswamy government was formed with support from the Congress party.
Exactly.
Before that, Yediyurappa was in power for a while.
So you will understand in local elections, specifically in state elections, what happens is the main party in the state, they have a better contention of winning. It's always like that. Not the national party winning. National party will win in the Lok Sabha polls, not in Vidhan Sabha polls. Vidhan Sabha polls are generally, these polls are done These polls are done on the basis of local issues. Yes, there can be national issues such as farmer protest or the restless sitting. A lot of things have come into the mind. Anti-incumbency doesn't come in a day. It doesn't happen in a day. It takes years and years of people need to be disgruntled with this whole thing in order to create an anti-incumbency factor. So this is not a one-day thing, that it has degraded gradually. BJP has degraded gradually in Karnataka, and that is the reason. And moreover, the campaigning of Congress, you need to see this. They were way ahead. They were way ahead.
It was a proper balance between
It was
local
way
and
ahead.
national leaders.
No, they started
I think
their
the
campaigning 2 years back.
exactly so. I think if I can just interrupt, the BJP committed a cardinal sin of preferring national leaders to local leaders. Of course, the local leaders did campaign, but it was more confined to, as you said, they pushed in everything from everywhere.
Actually, after Narendra Modi, BJP has nothing but to show Narendra Modi, Amit Shah.
But what has Narendra Modi got to do with Karnataka? He is the
It's
Prime Minister of the
nothing.
country.
It's nothing.
He's got other responsibilities to discharge.
What did he do for Gujarat? But he won in Gujarat, right? If we take back a few steps, let's go back a few years back. You see, the major 3 elections that were held, one was in Gujarat, one was in Himachal Pradesh, and the other, this national media took into consideration, was the MCD elections in Delhi. Right? BJP failed. What is the percentage of success rate?
The
for
BJP beat the dust in Delhi in the MCD polls.
BJP beat the dust in Delhi.
It won by a slender margin in Gujarat.
In
And
Gujarat
in Himachal Pradesh
and
it was
Himachal,
wiped out.
they are wiped out.
Exactly.
So you can see slowly the Modi magic that was
It's waning.
created is waning.
Do you think it's going to have serious ramifications on the Lok Sabha polls next year?
Actually,
If the Modi magic is waning?
in India, at this point of time, there are too many issues. There are too many issues. We are standing at an all-time low employment level rate. A lot of people are unemployed. As you can see, the market has become stagnant. It will help no one if a country, the most populous country in the world, only has 5 to 10 industries, then you can understand the state of industry in the country.
Right.
It is only on the basis of population that our GDP is growing. It is because of the inflation
So money
that
is
you are
stored in a
getting,
couple of banks.
that you are getting. It's because of the inflation that you are getting a higher, greater GST collection. It is not because, say suppose, today this.
But there are anomalies in GST too.
uh,
There are too many loopholes.
GST.
I still am not
GST
clear about the concept of GST.
GST is, the idea is noble, but the implementation is not.
Right. Execution.
Yes, the execution. A lot of paperwork has been made to go through it. And in fact, you won't believe, I will tell you, in order to keep a GST, now even a food vendor or a vegetable vendor needs to have an accountant. Otherwise, who will file the GST for the street vendor who is not even literate?
Right. So coming back to the Karnataka elections, of course the Bharat Jodo Yatra has played a pivotal role, and the BJP's.
And I think that Bharat Jodo Yatra is going to play a greater role in the upcoming elections.
You have elections in Rajasthan.
Yes, you have elections in Rajasthan. Now there has been also a bit of faction between the Gehlots and the pilots and all. But what will happen here is, people in BJP are
But
also.
incidentally, Sachin Pilot has once again sort of reiterated his unflinching loyalty towards the Congress party after the victory in the Karnataka election.
This doesn't matter. These are petty issues which come later. Now today people will say, who will become the chief minister of
Yes, this is my
Karnataka?
question. See, I'll come to it. You have
or
Siddaramaiah,
DK
you have
Shivakumar.
Shiva Kumar, right?
Now you have to understand.
Some people are talking about Kharge as well.
Not Mr. Kharge, but the thing is that Mr. Sitaramaiah, he is a very seasoned politician. He's very much well respected throughout Karnataka and also in the national level. And he has been the sitting CM for quite some time. After that, he is no longer the CM now. Now, DK Shiv Kumar is younger to him, and in this election in Karnataka,
But he is facing corruption charges.
DK Shiv Kumar has put in everything behind this win.
You think a major
behind
part
this
of credit for the major part of the Congress success should go to Shiva Kumar?
Almost, I think, if Bharat Jodo is given 60%, then
30%.
definitely 30 to 40% more than that goes to the party cadre and Congress's organizational capability in Karnataka.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I'll second it.
Otherwise, in these times, specifically in these times when BJP is doing so good, it is very difficult for a party who is not even in power to keep this sort of an organizational ability.
Well, do you also think that the BJP should now go back to the meeting table and rework their strategies, keeping an eye on some of the assembly elections coming up this year?
In fact, people from BJP around 10:30 this morning, they were already visiting Kumaraswamy's place.
Right.
Unfortunately,
They anticipated a hung assembly.
yes, they anticipated an hung assembly. In fact, this is quite a shock for them because
Exactly.
they were not in for this joke.
Mr. Modi is silent, Mr. Shah is silent.
Everybody will go silent now.
Do you think, I'll come back to the Bommai factor once again, do you think he will be made the scapegoat and his
He
people
doesn't-
will try to sort of,
You don't need to make
Write
him,
his political
you,
epitaph.
You don't need to make him a scapegoat.
he's already a scapegoat?
He is already a scapegoat when you have people like Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, JP Nadda, Yogi ji and everybody coming to a state, and in spite of that they
That
are
just
not
goes on
winning.
to prove that he lacks trust from his
Absolutely.
seniors. Now, BJP
Not
moved South
trust, I
India.
will not say trust. It is just
Maybe he doesn't
that
have that
BJP
credibility,
Yes,
right.
BJP
Now
felt
coming
that
back
this
to-
double engine Sarkar, whatever you will say, this doesn't work everywhere. This doesn't work. This can only work if you have a constructive thing in mind that I want to do this, I have a plan for this. Nothing came out in the past 8 years from central government.
Fine. Now coming back to BJP moved South India. I mean, the BJP has been sort of aggressively campaigning on the plank called Congress Kud Bharat. Now it's a BJP moved South India, and South India we've seen over the years has always played a very crucial role in national politics.
Yes.
What does this imply?
Now, this implies that come 2024, there is going to be a real tough fight for BJP. It is undoubtedly so because with Karnataka gone, you can see the Lok Sabha polls almost there is a loss of 20,
Now 2022. Now,
22 MPs.
now coming to this all important and much hyped up battle going on regarding the so-called federal front against the BJP. Do you think the Congress triumph in Karnataka will give the party a lot of edge over its opponents, because we presume that there are some opposition parties which would not allow Congress to call the shots? How does it place Congress now?
This is totally upon the opposition leaders. There are few states, there are few leaders who are equally good, like Nitish Kumar, JDU. You can see there is Naveen Patnaik.
What about Didi?
Didi, you have Didi in contention, and then you have a lot of contentions.
But aren't there too many prime ministerial aspirants?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't happen like that.
No, but the federal front has been a damn
I
squib
will
over the
tell you.
years.
Indian National Congress is a national party with its reach of most states in India.
It has a presence
Now,
everywhere.
it has a presence everywhere. Now Nitish Kumar doesn't have a presence.
Mamata Banerjee does have a presence.
In Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they don't have any presence.
AAP has
Didi-
some kind of a presence,
And
but
nothing.
negligible vis-a-vis Congresses.
Well, I will tell you, AAP is there in Delhi, AAP is there in Punjab,
to a certain
AAP
extent
is
in Goa.
there in
To a
Goa,
certain extent,
you
in
can
what
say,
sense?
but Goa, when it comes to national politics, Goa is a small speck. Goa is not that much
Yeah, yeah.
important. Now, there they are, Karnataka they are here, but they got only 0.05 vote share as of
Exactly.
now. So you can see that presence in two states doesn't help you that much. In fact, Ram Vilas Paswan, as you well know,
He was a weatherman.
He was a weatherman. He
Right.
had people.
Like Vidya Charan Shukla.
He had people throughout. In fact, in Manipur, you have
Exactly.
RLD people. Okay, so there are a few.
NJP.
Yeah, there are few leaders who does have credibility
Okay.
in national stature, but when it comes to the whole entirety of the country, there is no other face to oppose Modi rather than Rahul Gandhi. Because why? Rahul Gandhi and Modi, whenever you see, whatever you say, whenever you hear Modi speaks mainly targeting
The
the
Gandhi
Gandhis.
families. Exactly. So I agree.
Now you tell me,
I agree.
if the Prime Minister did
That means
do not-
he is insecure about the Gandhis.
the Prime
he is
Minister,
insecure
if
about the Gandhis.
the Prime
Absolutely.
Minister is not talking about Nitish Kumar.
So these
He's
elections.
not talking about DK.
No, he's not. He's not
talking
He's not
about
mentioning
Mallikarjun
Mamata Banerjee.
Kharge.
Absolutely right.
He's not mentioning about Didi. He's not mentioning about anything.
He is more concerned about Rahul
He
Gandhi.
is more concerned about Rahul Gandhi. His whole army is concerned
That means
about
he
Rahul
perceives a
Gandhi.
threat from him.
That is exactly so.
So I think the results of the Karnataka elections will definitely give a huge impetus to the Congress bargaining power.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Should they go solo in the elections
Actually,
if they don't fall in line with other opposition parties?
If they go solo, then actually what happens is, you have been listening, there are few people who have been giving you the idea of one against one.
That's right. Mamata
You
Banerjee.
get it? Yeah. No, it's not only Mamata Banerjee. Before that, it was said by the person who actually took care of Mamata's election here,
Yeah.
Prashant Kishore. Okay. Now, one versus one, BJP can be defeated. But when there are multiple parties contesting, then what happens is
The vote share gets divided.
yes, people get confused.
Exactly. So.
Because now what people think is, here BJP is there standing for the Hindus, right? Though the mandates that they have gone, it is for only 39% of the total population.
Yeah.
And Hindus are much more. There are a lot of Hindus who are much more secular in mind, and they do not like this sort of vigilance. We do not want that. And these are the people who are there, but who are undecided to vote whom.
That's right. So before,
That is the reason.
So before we wind up, two very relevant questions. You're the best to answer them. One is, what next for the BJP? That's the first question. And the second question is, will the federal front be pragmatic?
The federal front, if they have to come in power in 2024, they have to be pragmatic. Otherwise, it's of no use.
But will they be able to cobble up, all so-called, all those parties with divergent views and ambitions?
I will absolutely tell you this, because you see, a lot of these oppositions, they have good relationship with the center. You must understand.
Navin Patnaik has walked out of the federal front.
Navin
He says
Patnaik,
he's not going to be
he
party
said,
to it.
yes,
That's right.
he will walk alone.
And he's always treaded a middle path.
He has always done that.
Exactly.
And he has always been in favor of BJP also.
Yeah.
Now,
He's actually backed BJP on several bills inside the parliament.
exactly. Now comes Mamata Banerjee in question. Now Mamata Banerjee, his total ministerial, the whole cabinet, they are under corruption radar.
Yes,
Now,
submersed in corruption.
In fact, this is the only party, I presume, that even there, when they are in power, most of these senior members of the cabinet have already been to jail.
60% of them?
So now you can understand the credibility of Mamata Sarkar in West Bengal.
No, that is rock bottom, almost rock bottom.
But they have come with a huge number of mandates.
Exactly.
221 seats is not a matter of two.
Absolutely. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Especially countering the Modi wave
Yes, especially countering the Modi wave.
after the Lok Sabha elections.
And now what has happened here is, Abhishek is surely going to be called. He has been called, he will be called, and he will be
It is a
taken.
4-1 conclusion.
Yes.
He's going to be summoned.
Exactly. And that is the reason Mamata Banerjee cannot fully go out in opposition with the Modi government inside the parliament.
Right.
Whatever they do outside, they can do outside.
So is the Mamata shield fading out
No, that you won't be able
from
to
a
say.
national perspective?
Mamata is not fading out. Mamata
No, I'm
is a
saying
big leader.
what I mean to say is that with so much of corruption allegations all over, every now and then, almost every day, somebody or the other is being alleged with having links to untoward means or whatever corrupt means. So is this going to sort of be a big jolt to Mamata's image of being a Shototar Pratik?
Mamata's image has already been tarnished in West Bengal.
Which means she wouldn't have too much of a say
See,
at the national level.
At this point of time, she has enough say because she is still the CM
But she has the numbers as
and
well.
still the numbers.
Yeah.
Now you'll have to wait for another Vidhan Sabha election to see where she stands.
Fine. What next for BJP?
What next for BJP? They need to.
What do they need to do now?
They need to pull their socks up.
In what sense?
In what sense? They need to concentrate more on the things that actually matter.
Okay. Which are
Matter
those things?
Indians.
Which are those things?
Those things are unemployment, the thing that has come up with the army,
Right.
the old pension schemes that is there. Not even that, the people who are pensioners, there was a thing that was there in concession where you can travel to any part of India
Railway
by train.
concession, railway
But
concession.
there's railway concessions are not there. There are no jobs hiring. They need to hire more. And this privatization thing needs to be stopped.
What about corruption?
Corruption, as of now, I will tell you.
It's an age-old phenomenon.
Corruption was right there from the start.
Do you think it's omnipresent?
I will tell you what has happened here is during Modi regime, the corruption, people who do corruption now, they are not so small now. They are so big that you and I won't be able to touch
The
them.
heavyweights are involved in corruption.
Absolutely. Only the heavyweights. Because as you can see, Rahul Gandhi also point out to this thing that what is the relationship between Adani and Modi? Now, why Modi is so very tensed about this whole thing is because if Adani moves away from Modi, all this thing of manufacturing consent through media and all this power, this money, this also goes away.
No, these cynics would actually, these sycophants would turn their backs on him.
Hey, backs on them.
I'm sure there are people within the BJP who don't endorse everything that Modi
I will
preaches.
tell you. Now what will happen after this Karnataka election? Inside BJP, there are quite a few stalwart leaders
Nitin
who are
Gadkari.
still there. And they are not at all pleased
Who are they?
with this Modi Shah duo.
No, beyond Modi Shah duo.
Beyond Modi Shah duo, there are a lot of people who are there. Even the RSS is also not happy.
No, not at all.
Because what has happened here is BJP has changed the characteristics of the party. It is no longer Bharatiya Janata Party, it has become Modi Party.
BJP.
Yes. And it is only Modi and Shah who are calling the cards.
Right.
Right.
Is it on the same lines as
And-
that of the Communist Party? At one point of time, Congress was banking on Indira Gandhi, before that Jawaharlal Nehru, then Rajiv Gandhi,
You
then
need to-
Sonia Gandhi.
No, you need to understand.
More on those lines.
You need to understand. India became independent in 1947. What were you left with? Say you are the first Prime Minister. What were you left with?
Nothing.
You are left with more than 100 crore population, starving, 30% of the population is literate and the rest is illiterate. You have almost 80% of people under poverty line. This is what the British has declared you. Okay? You are now the Prime Minister. So what does the Prime Minister do? The Prime Minister along with the economists, they start a 5-year plans. And that is how India became India today. If you see Indira Gandhi, we are talking about Indira Gandhi, she is such a powerful lady, imagine. She cut Pakistan into two, right?
Where East Pakistan.
She cut
The war of
Pakistan into two, and not only that, the East Pakistan, the name was also changed, it became a new country, Bangladesh. So you understand the strength of that lady, right? Yes, there have been a lot of things.
Which just goes on to
Emergency.
prove that Modi is overestimating himself.
it's not Modi who is overestimating himself, it's the Indian media. It's the Indian media. Now, the main question out here is media. What is media doing? Media is showing people, the people of India, what they want to show and what the government wants to show. They will not show you the other side. They will not say anything. They will talk about the Kerala story. The same thing is happening in Jantar Mantar from 2012. Those people, they sat, they started a committee. This whole thing started from 2012 when this thing came into limelight. And today they are sitting out here. Not a word from the Prime Minister. He is addressing to the people of Karnataka, stating Kerala's story. But the place where he stays in Delhi, you see the wrestlers are there.
Nearby.
He is having photo op.
Right, I can understand. I can jolly well understand. But obviously, though I would say that it may not be fair enough to generalize because the media does have its limitations. But you're bang on. Now, before we wind up, one final question: what are the takeaways from the Karnataka elections? Three takeaways.
The three takeaways I will tell you. One, the image of Rahul Gandhi has vastly improved.
Has been bolstered.
And he is now, in fact, I presume that if you take a poll in India right now as to who is more popular, is Mr. Modi more popular, Mr. Gandhi more popular, I think you will have, you might get a shock.
Exactly. Second takeaway?
Second is that people of Karnataka has shown that they are literate, good people, and they have taken a decision solely based on the current local and national situation of India. And this shows that why we say Karnataka is now the IT hub of India.
Third takeaway?
The third takeaway is that Mr. Modi's magic is slowly waning away, and I do not think that even the media, if they can come out with their own guns blazing up. I've been seeing today around 10:30 or 11 when slowly just around 12.
Yeah, you said that Republic TV was more
yes,
focused
I know.
on
I will
UP
tell you.
civic polls.
I just told. I called you to say that look, this total 5 to 6 channels were covering the Karnataka elections. Slowly they came up with the UP
civic polls.
Civic polls, the thing. And
we wanted to avoid the audio.
yes. And what happened is after 12 or 1 o'clock, they were no longer covering the Karnataka elections anymore. And they were much more focused on the elections that is happening in UP.
They haven't even mentioned the Jalandhar.
Yes, they were mentioning Jalandhar polls that AAP won, and they were not bothered to consider covering for the Karnataka elections.
Exactly.
They are moving away from that. Why? This is because they have nothing to say.
That's
And this is what shows people. This is what shows people. It is nothing. The best way to understand what is happening truly is when you watch them regularly.
Right.
Say somebody is giving you a news. You should not watch that news in one single coverage. You need to find out. There are 5 more sources where you can get the news from.
Then only
will you be able to understand that what the TV is showing you or what the channel is showing you, whether it is correct. And we have seen numerous occasions in this last 4 or 5 years that blatantly national media, these national channels are providing fake news, showing fake news. You know that. The Hotel Farina one. The Farina hotel was a couple of
I think modern media is a social media which spreads fake news. So let's not get into this. But having said that,
it's all bootlicking.
You've been really honest enough. You've been really transparent
bootlicking.
enough. So guys, it's been a revelation. Mr. Pradipta Guha is actually he's entitled to his own views, and he's enlightened us on several matters which we're totally oblivious to. I really hope that good sense prevails, and democracy runs in full flow. So the Karnataka results are out, and there are lots of takeaways, there are lots of lessons to learn from the results of these elections, and we can only wait and watch, and we can only sort of see how future course of action takes place. Thank you so much for being so patient in hearing us out, and I assure you that we'll be back with another interesting subject. There will be topics galore, I'm sure, in the days to come. Thank you so much. God bless you all.